Hi everyone, welcome back to the podcast. So today we are going to discuss about XLRI interview, which are known to be deep, opinion-based and HR focused. But what actually happened inside the PI? Let's hear a real experience. So today we have with us Adrish, who has appeared for XLRI PI for HR program. Let's get straight into it. Hi Adrish, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
So, first of all, what is your background? Like, how did you end up in XLRI and PI? And what were you thinking prior to giving going for XLRI HR program?
Okay. So first, talking about my background, I have done bachelor's BSc in computer science from St Xavier's College, Kolkata. During the first year of my college, I started up my own business. It was a dropshipping business. So most of my interviews generally revolve around this my business only. Apart from that, I've done my schooling from St Xavier's School, Raiganj, and like while I was doing my business, so it was not a great sustainable model. So I decided to do an MBA. So that is why I ended up here. And also about XLRI, uh, I did not get a BM call. I had the HRM one. After my CAT, I just prepared for CAT. After my CAT, like CAT went pretty good. So uh, the 1 month gap between CAT and that, I went back home. I was just roaming around and I gave that ISAE. So yeah, but again, that is why I just got the HRM call and not the BM one. Yeah.
Nice. So what was your first reaction when you got the XLRI interview call after your that exam?
Actually, I was pretty surprised. I mean, I did not expect it because I mean, I don't know why, but I was thinking like, as I was not focused on that also, I did not prepare for it. I did not know what DM was like in that, and also I did not prepare for GK, and also I was not like hoping that the call would come. Like actually surprised me a lot.
So it was a basic guess, like if I'm giving cat, let's go for that as well.
Yeah,
More like
exactly.
that.
Snap and Nmat, all of them.
Okay. So how did you prepare specifically for XLRI PI? Or is it like since I've given that and I've got the call, let's just go for PI and have the experience?
Same. Actually, do not want to get into HR. I'm mainly focusing on marketing or finance. I'm confused between these two fields only. I do not want to get into HR, but again, it's XLRI, so I just went for the PI.
So how was
Yeah.
the panel and overall vibe like there? Is it more conversational or did they try to grill you since it is HRM program? And how was the vibe overall there and how many panelists are there?
Okay, so there were three panelists. I would say two of them were pretty chill. One of them was grilling. Actually, she wanted to know that why do you want to do HR? I mean, all of her questions was focused on just HR. That like she wanted to know that do you genuinely want to do HR or is it something that you have mistakenly ended up on? So yeah, that part was a bit grilling, but again, I could manage it well because I have that business background. Yeah.
So what kind of questions really they asked to you? Like and how many panels are there? Are there two panels and
No, there were
how
three.
many okay, there are three and all
Yeah,
are
yeah,
males
yeah.
and all or females.
No. There were two female panelists and one male panelist. Yeah.
Okay, and
So
how
I'll
much
tell you. Yeah. Yeah.
how much time
You were
did that
saying.
whole PI last? Like, is it like the typical 15 minutes, 20 minutes PI, or did it last for a longer time since it's
Yeah, it
XLRI?
was longer. It was longer for everyone. It was around 30 minutes, 35 minutes. Yeah.
That's pretty
So
long though.
the int yeah, I'll say what is the interview was pretty laid back. I mean, it was a long conversation kind of. Panelist one, the male one, started asking me questions about my business, my background, and everything. So like what I was doing, what figures, like what my turnover was, etc. A lot of it back and forth cross questioning. After that, panelist two, the female panelist, she started asking me questions on why HR, specifically why HR, and it was a long conversation. So I basically said them that I strongly believe that the managerial a lot of startups fail because the founders do not have the capacity to manage a lot of people. So what I want to mean is, the managerial quality required, the managerial experience required to maintain 10 people is very different from maintaining 100 plus people. And I read this somewhere previously only. So my main like I pivoted around this particular point, and I like explained them everything. Also there were questions like how would I implement my computer science knowledge in XLRI. Also, she was asking me questions like, "What is XLRI going to teach me that I won't learn from my business?" Also, so she was like, "What can we teach you that ChatGPT won't teach you?" So I had to tackle those questions also. And apart from that, yeah, it was mainly she was trying to grill around why HR, and she genuinely wanted to know that if I am uh, genuinely interested in HR or not. So yeah, that is that. And after that, third panelist, she was also a female panelist. Yeah, obviously. So she asked me questions about my computer science background, like AI. Okay, so there was this interesting question: what is the difference between Google search and Chat GPT prompt? So yeah, uh, it was like pretty basic questions. Apart from that, from AI, yeah, this is it.
That's
So
nice.
it
But
continued for 30-35 minutes.
yeah,
Yeah.
again, did they like really ask you questions regarding to current affairs or your academics? Since you mentioned mostly are based on why HR and why you're, since you're coming
Hmm.
from tech background, right? And HR is completely different from coming from tech and then going to HR. So did they really ask you questions related to current affairs and all?
Not current affairs was not. Oh no, current affairs was asked that what HR related news that I'm aware about. So I was aware about all those layoffs that are going on. So I said them that. And apart, they did not ask me much about current affairs. So they asked me one thing, that how can I implement my computer science knowledge into HR. So I said them about an algorithm, and AI algorithm, so that I can better identify like portfolios whenever I'm hiring. Suppose I'm hiring someone, and there are multiple resumes that I've received. So for understanding who is more suitable for that particular role, I can use an AI algorithm, and I explained them that. So yeah, this was asked.
That's really like as you mentioned, the PI went really well though. But was there any question that really tested your opinion or your values where you felt like I didn't prepare for that? Oh, they're asking this as well.
There was that one question regarding what is the difference between a Google search and ChatGPT prompt that caught me a bit off guard. Then I could come up with that. Yes, Google search might be a search kind of searching algorithm, like library and search. I read this after later. So, and what ChatGPT prompt is basically, it is a GPT, and all those like how it is a language model and how text generation takes place, all this
Yeah,
stuff.
that's really nice though. But what do you think XLI panel are actually evaluating in a candidate and what they're looking into when it comes to HR program?
So, see, basically the thing is, they'll so much grill you about HR. They will ask you multiple times that why HR, and if she's not liking the answer, then she'll just cut you off in the middle. For example, there was this one question that the second panelist asked me was, do you think that AI is going to replace this HR, everything and all?
Yeah.
So I was explaining them, but that was a long explanation. So basically, she got the crux of it, and she just said it to me, and I was cut off in the middle. So yeah, basically that was the only time I was cut off, and apart from that, it went pretty good only.
Nice. So any one word for XLRI PI?
XLRI PI,
Any
I
one
would
word.
say this is like for every PI that I go, that please be yourself and do not pretend.
Nice.
Yeah,
Really nice.
can the interview panel really understand that whenever you are telling a lie? So
True,
please do
true,
not
true.
pretend.
Very
Yeah.
true. So, is it like a biggest mistake that you feel that aspirants really make when they're going for a PI? Since you have given lots of PI.
Yeah, I do think so, because I got to talk to a lot of people, and a lot of people try to make things up, and like they start with a fake accent or sometimes, and also they say things that they have actually not done. So I do believe that is really not in your favor, and you should not be doing that. After all, you have a good percentile. That is why you got the call. So basically, there will be some reason that is why you chose to do an MBA. So try to make them understand that only. Do not make things up.
So, any one advice for the aspirants who are going for XLRI HR program PI and who are willing to join next year?
Okay, I would say uh, get to know about all the HR news that is going on apart from this normal layoffs, because that would give you an advantage. So, like, they would understand that yes, you are really interested in HR, like which I cannot say back then. And apart from that, yeah, if you are really interested in HR, like know about the field in depth. That is what is very much important.
That's really insightful, Adarsh. Thank you so much for sharing your honest experience with us. To everyone who are preparing and who are going to prepare for XLRI PI, values authenticity, clarity, and strong opinions really matters in the PI.
Yeah,
So be yourself and all the very best for the PI. Thank you, Adarsh.
yeah. Thank you so much.